Okay. Of the last of our derivative data sets, we have something we call components. Now, these components are derived from both our virtual users and our full internet scanning, the IPv4 internet scans we run on a routine basis. And what we're looking for with components is we're looking about the technology makeup that we've observed by either crawling the web page with our virtual user or looking at the server stack that we were able to get from the service banners or headers from doing the open port scan. And so what we have here is a list of all these different technologies that are available to us and then the unique value that we've observed. What's particularly interesting here, again, knowing that we have some results tells us that the RiskIQ crawlers have definitely observed this property before. And if we're thinking about a good website versus a bad website, you know, a good website's probably not going to go through and add a whole bunch of components or set up a lot of infrastructure, technology running in their page. Some of them may, but chances are high that they're going to do the least amount possible. What I like in using components is that you can sometimes find some unique information in there. You know, maybe some unique tracking pixels that have been deployed that are more specific than the generic tracker information. So maybe it's something that is part of the technology stack itself. Another one that I like, and a great example, is CoinHive. So CoinHive is exploded in popularity, cryptocurrency in the browser, mining coins, you know, based on your user's activity. Well, that's a component too. That's a piece of technology that we're able to identify and then simply running a pivot on that value.
And finding all the infrastructure that's infected with that or running it.
Exactly.
And there's even Black TDS is another one where you can actually see the distribution network that's being used to move everybody around and listing that component out and seeing everything.
Yeah, so I really enjoy the web component simply because it gives me a little bit of insight as to what the website is running or what the server's running. And when I think about, you know, a website that may be compromised, a great avenue to explore is the components themselves, because not only are we pulling out the technology, in some cases we're pulling out the version of that technology as well. And if you think about a website that might be compromised, maybe it's because it's running a vulnerable content management system. And so using that information, that might help you figure out, you know, maybe that's how the compromise occurred.
Or a particular WordPress plugin or something.
Absolutely. And so to me, the web components are great from an analyst perspective because they give you makeup of the technology that's running. They might leak some information about versions that are being used or technology that's being employed or maybe favored by a malicious actor or even a good actor. And then you can leverage it for cases where there's wider spread uses of technology that might be considered bad, maybe like CoinHive. And so again, in thinking about how to leverage this data set, time. We want to look at time. Are these components changing often? Is there infrastructure that, or is there new technology that's being added frequently, or is it just staying the same all the time? Are there any fake versions of known or popular server frameworks or libraries? Are there any unique libraries that maybe you've never heard of before?
Yeah, so like if you searched on Apache, yeah, you're going to find probably everything in the world. But if you looked for the CoinHive, like you mentioned, you're going to see just that infrastructure.
Yeah, so something that is less frequently occurring, you know, and gives you an idea of what you're dealing with. Another case too is like just having an understanding of like whether or not ad networks have been deployed. You know, are the bad guys going to do that? Not necessarily. They're going to be wanting to infect the ad networks. So I think components can tell you a story about the makeup of what you're dealing with, and they can also help you validate some of the legitimacy around the website as well.
Even transparent proxies being used on the infrastructure.
Yeah.